call to order at 9:16. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you taking the time today. I mean, we were all, most of us together last night as well to get an update, but we thought we'd take the time this morning to do kind of a quick communication subcommittee update and a couple things that I talked about last night that I thought were important. And I'll do the approval of the minutes in a second here, Devin, but is just update on a mock-up of the new landing page and the postcard, and just getting an update on communications all around for the project. So I think that's kind of our main goal today to talk about. But first order of business is to approve the minutes from the June 11th meeting. So if I get a motion to do so.
Motion, Ellen.
Was there a second? Sorry, did I miss it?
I think Sharon seconded.
No, I
Okay.
motion.
All right, great. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, unanimously approved. Okay. All right, so to move on, just looking at the agenda here, is there, I guess we can kind of walk through some of these as well. I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted. I'm actually in the car driving, but video tour and other videos. I don't know if there's anybody who has any updates on videos specifically.
I don't think so. We don't have Scott here.
Scott, usually. Okay. Side-by-side photos is still my obligation that I haven't done anything with at this point, so that's something that I've got to keep working on.
Meg, this is Richard. So
Yes.
we can certainly help you with the side-by-side photos. Maybe we can communicate offline
Okay.
about that. Now that we're going to be discussing the new landing page and potentially website redesign, then maybe we should be thinking about the side-by-side photos as one of the features, and its format should follow the website. So anyway, but as far as content is concerned, we can certainly have conversations offline and start mocking something up.
Perfect. That would be great, Richard. Yeah, I'll connect with you and see if we can just, like you said, have an offline conversation, even to think it through.
Right.
How we want to present it. That would be great. Thank you very much for that.
Yep.
Newsletter update. So we did have an update in the town newsletter that went out already. I think it was mentioned in CJ's letter as well, so we had a separate update within the newsletter, and then Beth let us know that the newsletter for the district will be going out very shortly. So I think we've covered that piece, but we also have our own independent newsletter that I think at this point is still on hold until we kind of get everything, get more information, and kind of move forward from there. So that's kind of also related to my comment last night about bringing Tall Timbers back on for engagement in August. In some conference, really felt strongly that if we can have a spring referendum date, that bringing his team on, at least for some initial consultations and talking about an overall communications plan in August, would be a smart decision. So I'm seeing what I can do to get some more information around that as far as funding is concerned and how we can handle that. But, you know, I think he'll be an integral part as well as Tall Timbers in creating a newsletter specific to us, which we had been working on previously, but I think now we're probably in a different time and place as far as what that messaging would look like. So the next piece I think is the important part of the conversation today, which is the landing page. So Devin, I don't know, would you be able to kind of pull that up for people to see? You know, I don't know, Richard, if you have the opportunity or somebody to kind of walk through the thought process here that you guys had on this landing page and what your thoughts were around it.
Yeah. Is everyone able to see the landing page right now?
Yeah, we can see it, Evan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
So this is Richard. So Mark and Lindsay from CSG met with me and Cara in our office several weeks ago. I can't remember what date it was, but I tell you, it was very good to have someone like Lindsay, who has not been involved closely with the project, to kind of look at the website as it was and get her reactions. And I think what I learned from that was that although there is tremendous content in that website, a lot of information, the first impression you have was not easy to understand. And so we, in our conversation in our office, we were talking about, can we simplify it? Can we put more graphic content in it that can be periodically changed? And so she took it upon herself to try to recompose the landing page. And there should be links on this landing page. And I'm going to let Mark talk a little bit more, or Lindsay if she's here to talk about it a little bit more. But what you'll see here is that it's much more graphically powerful, I think. And there was also a feature that Lindsay recommended, which is a link to the videos, which are a wonderful thing. I mean, when people go to websites, they like to be entertained, and videos are part of that entertainment, but it's information as well as entertainment. So she placed this this image here, and it has a logo. Everyone recognizes that logo, that little triangle that represents this is a video. People already know what that is, so they can just click on it and watch the video. But anyway, so there are headlines here and links. So hopefully this is in the direction that we should be going in. Mark, do you want to add anything?
Sure. So thank you, Richard. Yeah, we definitely took an opportunity to reorganize the site content a little bit, per the site map that we had submitted along with it, and into more sort of a logical sub-page structure. We're definitely going to, we can absolutely implement these into Squarespace and try to match the design concept as closely as possible. Still learning the capabilities of and limitations of the template for Squarespace. But basically we created or I should say Lindsay created a proposed site map. And this is sort of what we reviewed. You've got the home page, and then under each one of these, we changed the titles to a few things. So, your new Farmington High School, and that would, you click on that, and that would give you an option to view the renderings. Summarize the statements of needs. So why build new? This is all content that you have. We're just sort of reorganizing it a little bit differently. And we feel a little bit more user friendly. And then number 3 would be a project timeline. We could show the dates, start with, and this goes into the discussions we had about starting from the very beginning up into where we are versus sort of flipping it. So we're going to start with the current phase. In other words, where we stand today, and then sort of as folks want to learn more or dig into the history of where we got to today, they can kind of follow down that project timeline that way. And then we had one for meetings and events. So any upcoming meetings, things like that, show agendas, linked to, again, things that you have on the page already. So it's not, it looks like a lot of work, but it's really not a tremendous amount of work to kind of move things around and creating new links. And then you've got some resources, again, identifying the team overview, other involved parties, and then news and media. You saw that down at the bottom. So Farmington High School video series, press coverage, news announcements, anything like that. And then you've got your Contact Us tab. So all of those scroll across the top of the homepage. And if you look at the current site map below, those are the differences. So one is home, so that would be the same. Two was frequently asked questions versus we changed that to your new FHS. And then I can't remember what we said for number 3, but I mean, pretty darn close to what we kept. So project timeline, that's right. So just a little different, but primarily all the same content. And so what Lindsay had put together was in a different program than Squarespace, and it was just a snapshot of what we envision it could look like. And again, we would try to get as close as possible within Squarespace. You know, want to thank Cara. I think you're on the call as well. Spent a lot of time looking at this as well. Came up with some great ideas for even a whole overhaul of the project. I think of the website. I think for the immediate, we wanted to kind of just get this out there so we could sort of match up the postcard and point them to something easier, and then give us some time to really sort of massage the website. And, you know, I know Cara's, I think, more experienced in Squarespace, and looking forward to working with her over the next few months to help Kat and Devin to really develop this. Cara, was there anything you wanted to add?
No, thank you. No, I think that absolutely captures it. And I do agree that we needed to find some commonality between, you know, the postcard and the new functioning or the new looking website. I think that's important. So I think this is exactly where we need to be going.
Hi, it's Ellen. Yeah, wow. I just want to say, Cara, thank you so much, and anyone who had anything to do with the design of this. It's really, I think, 2 things. Number one, I remember talking about this at our last communications subcommittee meeting, and I feel like a lot of the feedback that we gave you is here. The sort of the new shot, you know, the image of the potential high school, and certainly the, you know, right down below, Devin, the ease of being able to find out when our meetings are. Oh, and the other thing is too, this, I think as a whole, this shows progress. Even through our pause, rolling this out to the community does show progress, which I think is good. Just a comment on the contact, I think that was number 6 down in the contact info. I forgot if we talked about having a place where if a member of the community could go on the page and have access to building committee members. I thought we had talked about it if it was agreeable to everyone. Sometimes I think it's good to know who's involved in case there's, you know, a member of the community needs to reach out. Does anyone remember talking about that? Or maybe it's here, I don't know if it's here.
I think that's a part of where we could and are looking at the bigger overhaul for everything, and for the immediate interim focus on just the landing page itself, so that we can get that postcard up. And then as we work through it, as we look at all of those, it may not appear on the very front page, but as far as contacts go and all of that kind of thing, it absolutely can be incorporated. But with that home page, that landing page needs to, you know, I think, have a little bit less information. But if that's something that's really important to everybody, we can certainly incorporate it on the home page. But like I said, this is, you know, the first step in kind of revamping all of it.
Oh yeah, I don't think it needs to go on the home page. If it were just embedded somewhere in contacts, or I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah,
Right,
we do.
I agree.
Yeah, we do have, on the current site, there is, under resources, I think there's the list of committee members, but I think it does make more sense if we move it over to the contact link there.
So something this is Richard, something I brought up last night had to do with the publication of the schematic design report that TSKP prepared, which has been edited now to include the comments that were given to us by the committee. I mean, certainly you could put somewhere on your website the schematic design report, which could be downloaded or just simply viewed by visitors to your website, whether that's, if you go to the heading of your page, maybe it goes under resources. So you have a tab for resources. So I know this is not a live website yet. This is just a landing page mock-up that was done, I think, by Photoshop, but I'm not sure, that Lindsay created. But if it could be, if there's a pull-down menu for resources, one of the items could be schematic design report. If this subcommittee wants that to become available, we could certainly, with Lindsay and Kara's help, make that a feature here.
Yeah.
I think this is Megan. I think it absolutely should be front and center, as you know, that's the result of all the work. So for somebody to be able to see, I think there's plenty of people that, you know, would actually download it and read it. You know, maybe not the full entire package that we received, but the summary, absolutely, to get a better understanding. So I think it would be a critical part of this landing page, maybe, and I would even maybe front and center. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but maybe they're in that phase section or something that people can find it quickly.
But if we're not,
Okay,
Any other
that sounds
opinions
good.
on that? And do you think it makes sense? I'm not sure on timing. You know, I know there's a lot of work around getting us to this view, but does it make sense for us to even put that, you know, does the committee feel it makes sense for us to even get that up there now on the current site as it exists? Or do we feel it's more important that we can actually wait until we have this redesign done?
I can throw it up there now on the site if that's, you know, if we feel we're ready for that. But,
And I think all we're going to do is point to the content that's there. So
right.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, Devin. Personally, unless somebody has an objection to that, but I mean, I think what we heard last night is from our building committee as a whole is that people are comfortable with the information right now. Now that we kind of have that final, we can certainly put that up there, transfer it over for content.
It looks like Rafina has her hand up in the attendee section.
Okay.
Hi there. Good morning, everyone.
Rafina, how
I'm
are
just
you?
adding my 2 cents. I think this is a great looking website, and the sooner that you get it up there, I think the better it would serve our community. There are a lot of little bits and pieces of conversations happening in and around town. People are really concerned about the pause, and I think this would go a long way to kind of maintain interest and excitement in this project. So as soon as you can, even if it doesn't have all of the information, people just want something to point to and look at. So just adding my 2 cents in favor of getting the website up.
thanks, Rufino. Lindsay's and Kara committed to kind of pushing this through if this is what the communications committee approves today.
Okay. All right, I'll lower my hand now. Thank you.
Thanks, Rafina. It's good for us to hear too what conversations are being heard as well. So that's important context for us. Anybody else have any comments or thoughts for, at least this view that we see? Again, we can always, we can make updates and changes as we go along, but I think the format and the view, I think looks fantastic. I think it really is going to make a difference for us. So is everybody comfortable giving approval on this as we see it right now?
Yeah, hi, this is Ellen. I definitely, agree with Rafina that especially, just for the sheer fact that there's so many other major things going on right now. Let's just say the reopening of school and other things. So this might just assure the community that that this project is not, not being thought of. So I definitely, as soon as possible, I'd get this up.
Hi, this is Sharon Mazzocchi. I also agree. I think it looks fantastic. It looks clean and clear, and I think it'll be a lot easier for people to understand and read. So I'm ready for it.
All right. I think that's good feedback for everybody. So what would accompany this once we have this up and going would be the postcard out to everybody in the community to say, hey, by the way, we're going to let you know that you still have a point of reference for this project. Please go out and take a look. Devin's kind of done a mock-up here. Devin, I don't know if you want to kind of walk through your thought process on this.
Yeah, so for the language here, I kind of just put up stuff that we've included in chair reports just as a placeholder so we can wordsmith it a little bit. But I think also if we add one more bullet point, it'll fill up the space a little more nice. But I included these two images from the architect's PowerPoint presentation. And then just on the back, our social media and our website address here. And this space is blank because that's where the addresses are going to go. But yeah, I'm happy to hear any feedback and any suggestions regarding the postcard here. And Rafina is raising her hand again.
Hi, Devin. I think this looks really nice. The only suggestion is that I would move the photo, just like you have it on the website, move the photos up right below the Farmington High School Building Committee and have the words go down below that.
Okay.
Because I think that's, just more pleasing to the eye.
Gotcha.
People they kind of, when it's word on word, they were just like, but if you have the photo above there, and it also will track nicer and match the website. And then I can't see it on my view, but does it say artist's rendering of new Farmington High School or anything like that?
It does not.
Okay, we might want to just add something to that effect because people are gonna be like, well, what the heck is that? If they haven't been following the process or the progress of the building committee fairly closely.
All right, so a little caption there.
Yeah.
Richard, do you have any language that you'd like to see underneath those?
Rendering of schematic, or let me think about it.
Yeah.
View of main entrance to new Farmington High School. Rendering of schematic design, something like that. So that people understand it's schematic design, meaning it's very early, and that this is the view of the main entrance on the left, and then and the view on the right is the community entrance.
Actually, since we're doing the front and the back, would it be possible to move, sorry, this is Rafina again. Would it be possible to move that second photo on the right to the back page or to the back of the postcard?
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, we can switch that around.
Yeah, because I think the first photo on the left is really sort of eye-popping. Oh, sorry, something happened. So I think that would make more of an impact
Okay.
as like the front photo.
Yeah, I agree with Rafina. And that again is more consistent with the website. We have one image that's at the top of the website. The second image is could be on the back of the postcard, and it could be a smaller scale image. The image on the front of the postcard should be larger.
Okay.
Hi, this is Cara. I would just, I would offer that if there's a way to shorten that first bullet so date isn't, you know, all the way isolated, and then that we're just checking it against the look and feel of the new suggestion on what that landing page could be. If there's a way that we could just compare them a little, make sure that the font is correct and all of that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would even shorten it further and just say that the building committee continues to work, we could say tirelessly or together, but you know, to evaluate new information, continue communications, just as simple as possible, whatever it is that the building committee would like to add there, but just be like short one sentence, and it should be like, you're continuing to work, the work hasn't stopped, and you know, prepare for a new referendum date. So maybe continues to meet monthly.
And as we are developing that home page or the landing page, depending on what language comes out of that and how we tighten that up, that might help inform some of these bullets and add another or something like that. So we can absolutely work with you, you know, as that develops to make sure that this mirrors all of that language too.
Right.
Yeah,
See,
this is Al. Oh, hi, this is Ellen. Yeah, I totally agree with that first bullet, just super simple. The FHS Building Committee continues to meet to prepare for a new referendum date. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, because as my years as the PTO president, you have like literally maybe 10 seconds to grab somebody. So all of the information we'd actually put in the subject line of the emails that we sent out because people are inundated. I think it probably translates to like snail mail as well. That whatever you're going to say just needs to be very simple and very concise at the top.
But otherwise, I think it looks great. Good job.
This is Marcus. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. So the one thing I do think it looks good, and I like the suggestions that others have made about moving the photos around and condensing the language a little bit. I might change the FHS Building Committee headline to something like FHS Building Committee Update or something like that, because it seems a little bit. I mean, that's what this is, and just that title and 2 bullets seems a little bit disconnected from the message that we're trying to send out. So I think that's the only thing really that I would change, just to make this clear that we're just providing an update to the community. I think that's probably good.
This is Beth. Yeah, I think that's a great point. We're not mentioning pause, and I understand the focus is going to be the continued work, but I think that ties it in, the bullets, and the purpose of the card.
Okay. So we've got want to add update to the title, the header right there. We want to move this this image of the student entrance above the text. Move this back image to the back of the card. Was there anything else that I'm missing? I know we're gonna work on the language a bit as well, but.
I think that was everything, Devin, as far as formatting the card.
Okay. Yeah, so I can definitely work on that and send out an update to everyone.
Meg, it's a little tough to understand you. You're cutting out.
Is that any better or no? No?
It's not awful. It's hard to tell. It's just in and out. So it
Sorry. I'm in a golf course parking lot.
maybe move over a little. I don't know, up a few spaces.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's tough.
Like almost impossible. All right, hold on. Well, you guys continue. Does anybody else have any other thoughts?
I'm good.
All right, is there any, can you guys hear me or no? Is that any better? No?
Oh, I hear
Thank you.
you.
Sound like you're from another planet.
Oh, sorry.
It looks like Scott is was able to join us. Scott, do you have an update for the?
Yes. Hey, Devin. Good morning, everybody. I apologize. I was having trouble getting on my. It's our 1-year reset, so I had to reset my password. I was on with my phone before, but great job on the website and the postcards. And then in terms of the video tour, it's actually I could use a little bit of feedback. You know, Costa, I was not able to get. I'm assuming he's busy with other things because I was not able to get a response on a couple of those requests. I did work a couple weeks ago with Evan Foreman on our video tour. So we have a lot of shots done with that. I just did the voiceover. We had students that were going to do it, but obviously we've had some issues since March with that. My one concern with the building tour video is the current video footage that we have has no people in it because our school hasn't been occupied since March. So I'm happy to put that, to have him put that together. We had discussed, I knew this meeting was coming up, we had discussed possibly waiting until September and trying to get some of the footage. It's going to look different because school's going to look different. So, you're not going to have some of the crowded hallways because of mitigation measures that we're putting in place. But, those are just things for feedback from the group, whether you want to proceed with an empty building or, we can try to wait and get some of those, at least images, so it looks more like an active school.
So videos with people are much better. Scott, this is Richard.
Yeah, I agree, Richard.
You do have older videos that maybe you can use. And you can also certainly show after school opens the difference between what steps you've taken to mitigate the transmission of the virus. I'm not sure what you're doing, but that also would be good information for members of the public. What's going on in the school right now.
Right.
If they see crowded corridors and so on, I think that could alarm people. But if you label those old videos as this is pre-pandemic, and then this is a new video showing the current situation, would be fine. But I think having people using the spaces would be better. Unless you're focusing on like a leak or something, or a mechanical unit, or a window detail.
Some of the old video is part of a finalized video up on YouTube. From what I'm told, those are, those original files which are used to put together the newer videos are difficult to do or unable to do once those videos are finalized and published. We have all the footage from our previous videos that we're pulling from, but it might, we'll do, I guess we can do the best we can. And then try to get a little bit of imagery once school starts for certain areas.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll be recording the voiceover for, for the time being, just so we can have something out early fall.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other thoughts? Meg, is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
Can you guys hear me now? Is that better?
Yep, I can hear you better.
Okay.
Much better.
Oh, good. I left the golf course. I don't think so. I think these are all good, the best approaches we can take right now as far as, really getting work done that matters around communications and just staying engaged until we really, I think then our next step is really making sure we keep the website updated with anything new, and then really working on a strategic communications plan once we really are back in, full engagement is my thought process on this. I think, does that make sense to everybody? Is there something that you think we're missing or that we should be working on that we're not?
This is Beth. I think we've got a good mix of things going and kind of at a good pace and taking advantage of the pause. It all looks great to me.
The only other thing that I was thinking is whether it makes sense, or do you feel that it would be important for me to reach out to see if we can get any actual media coverage, like if we can get anything in the current or anything like that? Do we think that's important now, or something we should wait on? I don't know what the thoughts are around that.
Hey, Megan, it's Ellen. You could do something as simple as just creating a small press release that, announcing our new landing page, something like that. That might help. It doesn't assure any media coverage, but sometimes you never know what they're going to pick up.
Yeah,
this is Marcus. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead, Nick. All right. I was just going to say, I agree with Ellen there. In order to get we have to have some sort of news, really, to get into the newspaper. And right now we don't really have a lot of news, but the landing page idea is a good one. Is that, we've updated our website to better reflect where we are and provide better information. So I think that's probably a smart move.
Okay. Only reason why I asked is that, we've got a couple things now that are going on in the news. I just don't want us to be, that it's kind of an overload of information specifically around Farmington High School. So I just want to be sensitive to that and make sure that we're, I can certainly put it out there and we can see what kind of coverage we get around it.
Come on in, Megan. The water's fine. No problem. Everything is going to be okay.
All right. That makes sense to me. I can see if I can pull some wording together and kind of go through the process and see if we can get something out there. And then maybe even reach out to my contact there and see if there's any thoughts she has on the best way to approach it at the current.
And this is Beth. I assume that along with kind of the launching of the landing page, we'll be putting that out as a committee on our social media. I don't know if there'll be an email update, but just to kind of tie everything together, put it out there.
Yeah, as soon as we're live on the new site, I can definitely advertise that on our social media accounts.
Great.
All right. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? If there's nothing else, I appreciate everybody's time and thought around this. Please, if you think of anything else or there's any other thoughts around the landing page or the postcard or just our process in general, feel free to shoot the group email for discussion or however we want to proceed here. And Devin, it sounds like you might be able to get us kind of a, out to the group, even an updated version of the postcard too.
Yeah,
Once
definitely.
you kind of made the update. Perfect. Okay. That would be great just to give everybody one final view. And then we'll obviously schedule that once the website is updated. If there's nothing else, again, I appreciate the time and we can go ahead and adjourn at 9:56.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye-bye.